Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Shack After Dark. It's evening time here in the shack. Everything has gone quiet. Enough to hear ourselves think. We've got no Mort at the minute because Mort is away doing all sorts of research with Rich. Rich the
It's away with the
research.
fairies.
Yeah. There's nothing we need to prove tonight, nothing we need to solve. We're just here having a talk the way people do when the day has finally let them go. So, welcome to the Shack After Dark. I'm Trina,
And I'm Steph.
and we're here just to have a chat with you. We've got a few questions written down, but we may come up with a few as we're talking. I have a brew, I have my coffee. You got your juice, because she's got a cough at the minute.
I know. If you listened to our episode last week, we are currently recording this just afterwards. So it's not any better, I'm afraid. But I do now have a glass of water. So hopefully it will help to soothe.
Plus, you don't have any of those weird old-fashioned stories or words to tell. That was
it was a full-on one, wasn't it?
It was.
Honestly, sometimes I feel like reading out loud when you were a kid. You know when you were asked to do that at school?
Yeah.
Right. And some of our listeners, I'm sure there's people here that are going to relate to this. Like being asked to put on the spot and, oh, you can read this paragraph. Did anyone else at that point scan the page and desperately hope for the paragraph that only had a line and a half or 2 lines? Like the smallest paragraph in the world. It's like, if you're going to pick me, please pick that one, because, and I used to completely ignore what everybody else was saying. I'd ignored the rest of it, and I'm already reading the one that I think I'm going to end up getting. I also had a really, really nice teacher, though, and I was always sure that she chose the shortest one for me because she didn't want to leave me out. But I'd have been quite happy for her to. But, there was that whole thing of can't leave them out because it singles people out, but we'll try and give her an easy one to do. And I would literally be sitting there reading the shortest little paragraph, hoping that would be the one that she'd asked me to pick.
Yeah.
Or to read, rather. Yeah, it's just a nightmare. And it's no better as an adult. I'm just saying, I just don't care when I get it wrong so much. Yeah, I care for you guys, because if you guys are listening, I want to make it a smoother, transition and stuff. I want to make it a nice listen. And that's the part that annoys me. But in terms of actually getting it wrong, no, hell, I'm going to get it wrong. Yeah. I mean, it's just life. So I'm not overly worried about that. But
yeah, but I don't mind reading out. I never used to at school, but I don't mind reading out now. I've spoken too much in front of too many audiences in my life to now worry. Not that I ever worried when I was talking to people, because I always felt that if I made a mistake, they were always like, oh my God, she's made a mistake. Oh God. And they were always gunning for you.
Yeah, but it's always how you deal with it. And a lot of the time, I've always found it easy to make mistakes because I've always watched you public speaking and things like that. And in that sort of situation going, well, oh, well, never mind. I'll start that again. Shall I? Yeah. And I've always done the same thing, because I've taught large groups of people and gone into universities in Rennes to teach bachelor students. So because that's what I do. Yeah. And even doing that and making mistakes and getting words wrong, and and especially when I had to go and do it in French, are you taking the actual piss? I can barely speak my own language. You want me to go in and do something like that in French?
Yeah, I would find I would find that more difficult, and the ability to be able to actually speak in my own language gives me a greater sway in what I say to people and how I apologize when I get it wrong.
Absolutely.
Or I do something wrong, or something doesn't work. A bit like
just let it go.
Yeah,
let it go.
A bit like our tech today.
Yeah,
where
we just need to we need to draw attention to my pin. We're going to pretend like that didn't happen.
I am not editing this at all. This is going out as it is, because I'm up to
just
here.
Down. That just fell off.
Is it a ghost?
I think it might have been. Yeah,
might have been a spook.
Should be a little motto for everyone. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get it in the light so you can see it. Can you see it?
That's difficult to see. It's a fish.
It's a fish with a shark fin.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So he's got a little shark fin.
Yeah.
And it says, mindset is everything.
Perfect.
And it's my little fish with his shark fin. I'm a shark, right? I am currently telling myself that I'm a veterinary nurse, right? I don't tell anyone else that because it's not true yet, right? But I am currently training to be a veterinary nurse. And because I can't possibly do these things by halves, I am studying to be a veterinary nurse in French because I don't have enough challenges in my life, it seems. And I'm just reaching the end of my first section, and now I have to look into the homework bit where I have to write a thing. And I'm right when I'm reading it and I'm listening to the videos and I'm, I've got time to go through the questions and just answer the questions. That there are little quizzes and little tests that I've had to do so far. And it's like I'm getting it. Some of the wording's weird because if I translate it, it doesn't always translate very well.
Can I just ask?
Yeah.
Is Rich cutting up carrots or something?
He is cooking downstairs, yes.
Yeah, I can hear. Your microphone picks up everything.
Sorry about that. I'm going to apologise for the noise, and yet I'm not apologetic at all because he's making me a lamb curry.
Yeah. It's hopeful that by the time I actually, not that I have to edit it, because this is an editing suite. And so somebody else I'll press a button and it will be edited.
Press a button and it will edit it out.
Hopefully the chopping noise will disappear. And we will be talking about nothing. And I'll have to put the chopping noise back in. Just pretend. If the chopping noise is not there anymore, pretend you heard a chopping noise. There you go.
Yeah, pretend it was there.
Yeah.
Like someone chopping carrots on a wooden chopping board. Yes. He is cooking downstairs. And yeah,
I can hear every chop.
You talk for a minute. I'll mute my mic.
I could do that because we've got some questions today.
Okay, you ask question.
Okay. So we've got a few questions that we can just sit and discuss. And please, we need our listeners to sort of join in the conversation because we would love to hear from your side what your views are on this or what your thoughts are, how you would answer this question. And it would just be really nice to get some feedback. We as much as we ask for feedback, we rarely get feedback. And I think perhaps you're just scared to ask us or I don't know. I really don't know.
Or genuinely no one's listening. We're just here on our own. We'll just talk to ourselves. It's fine.
There is that. But I'm sure there are some who listen. We do get numbers up to tell us that some people listen around the world. So we really would encourage you to get in touch. The more we can get people involved in the community of our podcast, then obviously the better for us because we'll grow the community a bit more. And it would be lovely to have more listeners because then hopefully we get more feedback. But anybody out there, please get in touch. We are just ordinary, just mum and daughter, just living in France. We're just normal people. And we would love to
Sorry,
hear
I'm
from
just
you.
going to interject there and tell you that there is absolutely nothing about us that is normal. But I get your point.
A little bit crazy, a bit goofy, but one of the things that Steph was just saying about, I will just pick up on that because you telling yourself that you are already a veterinary nurse is a great way. In therapy, we use that all the time. Tell yourself you've already done it. Tell yourself you're already there. And you tend to start behaving that way.
it's the fact that if I tell myself that I'm a veterinary nurse, when I come across something that I don't know, I will seek out the answers, because as a veterinary nurse in my head,
Yep.
I should know, and therefore I will find this out, right? So it kind of puts the steps in place. Like,
Yeah.
if I was already a veterinary nurse, what would I need? Well, I'd need the qualification, right? So I'm doing that bit. If I was actually a veterinary nurse, what would I need? I'd need the experience, right? So I need to book my apprenticeship, or my internship with a a job within the sector. So it's all these kinds of things that start making sense when I've already put myself in that position in my head. Obviously, I'm not going around telling people that I'm a veterinary nurse, because that would just be lies.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. But if I'm telling myself, if I'm, that I'm okay, so if I was a veterinary nurse, if I'm a veterinary nurse, what do I need? What would I have? What experience would I need to have? What knowledge would I need to know? And yeah, I just found it's a really nice way of pushing myself to progress.
Yeah. It's a great way of doing anything new in your life, or any way that you want to change. I can remember going on a course a very, very long time ago. You were all very young. Um,
I
and
think I know what you're about to say.
yeah, and I came home from this course having learnt that the more you tell yourself something, the more you are it. And I was a bit chaotic at home. And I decided that I needed I needed to I was always great at work. I was always in control and organized and everything. But home life was maybe a little bit more chaotic. Mind you, we had 5 children.
I was just about to say, there were literally 5 of us running around. It was a hell house.
It was a blended family. So I had 2 children in my old marriage, and did I touch my mic then?
Either that or somebody just twanged something.
I don't think it was a twang of anything. It was me hitting the mic.
That's quite funny though.
And my husband, my new husband, came with his 2 children, and then we had another one between us. So yeah, 5. And they nearly always had all their mates around. We had a house full, and it was a bit chaotic. Anyway, I went on this course, and it told you how to tell yourself what you are, and the fact of also remembering that when you tell other people what they are, that if they are naughty, it's no good telling them that they're naughty, because the more you tell them they're naughty, the more that's how they're going to behave. And
because that's what they are.
Because that's of course is what it's. Now this is going back to our last thing when we were saying about naming something.
Yeah.
And it
having the importance of names. Yeah. And labels.
Labels.
Yeah.
And so my youngest daughter, Rochelle, who was quite little at the time, but she was called the Terminator, because she literally would go into a room and she would
just reduce it to matchsticks in approximately 32.5 seconds.
Yeah. And of course that's what we called her. So you can imagine this is it's what she lived up.
Now that she has a daughter, her daughter is now the Terminator 2. And this is what we call karma.
Yeah. Yeah, another label. Right.
I love my niece to bits. She's awesome.
But I came home trying to tell myself that I was neat and tidy and well organized. And because of that, I started going around the house saying, if I'm a neat and tidy person, then that doesn't live there, it lives there. If I'm a neat and tidy person, that needs to go there, that needs to go there, that needs to go there. And then my husband, I could try and get this, because this is a story from a long time ago. And Rochelle came in from school and asked for something to eat. And my husband said to her, don't eat anything because you won't eat your tea. Ah! And I said, Of course she will.
It was like one of those moments. It was like one of those moments where it's like, oh, this is that thing I've been learning about all day. And it was like, yes, she will, because she's my good eater. And I literally watched my dad's eyes roll into the back of his head. It was the most painful eye roll I've ever seen in my life. And it was just like, oh, Christ, she's been on a course. And he said nothing. He was just like, oh, for Christ's sake.
She's been on a course.
Yeah, but...
And then that was it. So the whole family took it on board then. And of course, I kept having to tell the children how good they were at this. Of course, you're such good at this and you're so good at that. And telling myself it's hard work.
Yeah.
But the other thing I learned was nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
I can feel a story coming on.
Yeah. And I went and picked Steph up once and we were late. I was running a course that day. Now, I said to you, I'm quite organised in my work time. I was running a course that day for quite a few people. So I had about 30 or 40 people turning up for a course at a big hotel with lunch booked and everything. And I had to get all my stuff there and set it all up and whatever. And I'm sitting outside of Steph's house.
Late.
And Steph was late. Yeah.
I was very late. I had overslept. I was running around the house like a blue-ass fly, trying to find everything that I needed because I was not organised that morning at all. And yes, I remember coming out to the car and you go, for Christ's sake, Stephanie, will you get in the bloody car?
You know you're late. I've got this to do and I've got that to do. And she looked at me and said, nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
And she then looked at me and went, well, I'm thinking it's bad. Oh, dear.
That is hilarious. It was so funny. And it was like my own stuff being thrown back at me.
Yeah, you've been telling me this all my life. Yeah, you better believe I'm going to bring it back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah. Nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Yeah. So think about something being nice. Yeah. It's sometimes it works.
It doesn't always work quite like that.
No,
yeah,
it doesn't
always work like that.
No.
The reference that was I think originally talked about was the fact of like it's raining. Yes. And it was like, okay, well, you know, one person would say, oh, you know, I'm getting married today, my wedding is ruined. And the farmer or the person with the nice vegetable garden might say, oh, thank goodness, because my plants really needed this. It's nothing, it's not good or bad. Raining isn't good or bad, but the way that you think about it is the thing that will make it either good or bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the thing. In that situation where we were going to be late, I don't think there was really a good there.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. I mean, you do look at some circumstances that are like happening in the news at the minute, and you're like, nothing is either
is it that bad? Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
Like, no, actually, it really is that bad.
It really is that bad. And I think this is the thing, because it's like, if inherently we had been late and there had been a huge like 7-car pile up on the road and we'd have actually been involved had we have been on time, you can kind of go, okay, well, you know, lesser of two evils. Okay, granted. But, you know, yeah, there's certain things going on at the moment that I can't even claim that.
You see, now, we quite honestly say things like this. If we don't quite get out when we're supposed to, it's like when we came over to you the other day and we bought the TV. And we got halfway down the hill when I said buttons to Dad. Have you got the buttons for the telly?
Have you got the remote? The remote, yeah. The buttons, the doofer. What do you call your remote control? Because everyone calls it something different.
Different, yeah.
Yeah.
Ours is the buttons. Have you got the buttons? But we got halfway down the hill and I said, have you got the TV? Have you got the thing to fix it on? It's on its legs, yeah. Have you got the buttons? And he went, no, I haven't. So we had to go back. So we were probably 10 minutes later than we should have been leaving. Now, it didn't matter that particular day, but there are some days when 10 minutes would make quite a lot. But I often think to myself, was that fate? Making sure that we were 10 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
Because this has happened to me before, where I have driven along a road having been kept doing something where I really needed to get home or whatever, and all of a sudden something happens, and then driving and realizing that an accident has happened in front of me, which has only just happened, and you realize that if you had been just a few minutes earlier,
It could have
it
been
could
you
have been
too.
you.
Yeah.
And there are so many of those little incidences that have happened. But going back to this idea of telling yourself what you are, it's like us. It's like us when we first started the podcast, and even now, to tell other people that, oh yeah, I produce podcasts. I'm a podcaster. We are podcasters.
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah.
And whether nobody
Amateur
listens,
ones. I said amateur ones.
yeah,
But,
we
you
are.
know.
But then a lot of people are amateur podcasters because they don't necessarily make money out of the podcast
Absolutely.
itself.
Yeah.
They sometimes sell merchandise and then Patreon on top and then YouTube and this sort of thing. And yeah, we're on
And these things
YouTube.
grow. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it starts off as something very, very small, and then it grows.
Yeah. We are podcasters. And we tell ourselves that. We laugh about it sometimes because
Who the hell would have thought it, right?
yeah. And again, a lot of people don't think that women of a certain age would get involved in anything like this. But I'm retired now and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the creativity of it. I love the getting together with Steph so that we can have a natter and a chat and a catch up.
It's also, I think, that the focus and the drive to do something, produce something. It's also the learning, because I've learned loads since we've been doing this, like
so
stories and myths and legends and all kinds of stuff that I've never even looked at. You know?
Yeah. I watched an episode today of Jules's Guide of London. He walks around London, does a YouTube channel, and he's got books out and everything where he does walks around London. And he walks around, he's got a bowler hat on and everything, and he walks around with these lovely clothes on, and he tells you all about London. Tells you all about the buildings and the things to look out for. You can get Jules points if you get certain things that you see around London, like really old stuff. What were we talking about?
The things we've learned. We were talking about.
We were, yeah.
The things we've learned from podcasting.
That's right. I remember now. And he happened to be talking today about the first underground trains that we found out were overground first. So they were overground, but went underground, but then come out again because they were steam trains.
Wombling free.
Yeah. Overground, wombling. No, we went. Don't sing it because we'll get copyrighted.
Come on, when you said overground, underground, there was no other response to that at all. And all of our listeners should have been screaming it. Well, having said that, if they ever knew, if they were in the UK, I don't know if it was around. I don't know if it was a global thing. I don't
think it was a global thing.
I don't think so, no.
And it was
Wimbledon, wasn't it?
It was Wimbledon Common.
The Wombles of Wimbledon.
The Wombles of Wimbledon Common. And funnily enough, we might get into that in a second. But he happened to mention about the trains. And I was like, oh, because we did a thing about the ghosts of the underground, didn't we?
We did.
And I thought, oh, yeah, 1863, I think. And then he said, that's when the trains started in 1863. I was like, yes. Yes. I know something that Jules knows.
Love it.
So yes, it was rather fun.
I was talking about knowing things and not knowing things. Oh, me and my other half, we got our eyes tested here in France, right? Last week this week. And so we got our eyes tested. And I was talking to Rich about how I used to hate it as a child, coming to get my eyes tested. And he was like, why? I said, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. And I started trying to unpick why. And I've come to the conclusion that it was another test involving letters where I got it wrong.
Of course.
Because I couldn't see it properly. Yeah. And I would get the wrong letter.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I've just hit on I think I've just hit on a childhood trauma of
Yeah.
dyslexics in the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's just another test where people are asking me, well, what letter is that? Well, I don't know. I don't know. E, F, L, and I couldn't get them right. And I was just like, now that I've accepted that, and I'm like, but it's not a test. If I can't see it, I can't see it, right? So I
Yeah.
get it now, and I'm
Yeah.
fine with getting it wrong. I'm like, no, I can't see that at all. He made me laugh because he covered my good eye, because I've got one eye that doesn't work, that is really, really shit. And he covered the good one, and he was like, oh, just what letters can you see there? I was just like, are they letters?
Just
I
a
was like,
blur.
I'm sorry, the fuzzy objects are not clear enough for me to call them letters. They could be anything.
Yeah.
But it was quite funny.
So
Anyway, we'll
what?
have new glasses coming.
So what eye is your wonky eye?
My right eye is dodgy.
That it's exactly the same with me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and that was the eye when I got bitten by a dog when I was very little. I don't remember it at all, and it was my parents' fault.
Okay.
Yeah, which they know. They know it was their fault, and they should never have left me with the dog. I have no idea what happened. I'm not sure. All I know is I got bitten in the face
Crikey.
by the dog. The dog got put down, unfortunately.
My word.
I don't think it was the dog's fault, but hey ho. But I had to have all these tests on my eyes, and they decided that my right eye had some sort of damage done to it because one of the dog's teeth went right down through my bottom eyelid and came out underneath.
Oh,
So I had like a hole.
my
But years later, when I was speaking to somebody who I used to go backwards and forwards to the London Eye Hospital all the time. I had to wear a patch over my left eye to make my
yeah,
right eye work
yeah.
for years
Doesn't
and
work, does
years.
it? No,
No,
it doesn't
no,
work. No.
no.
No, you just look like a twat, and everybody then
Yeah, you
knows
have to
you're a twat. And
sit
sit at the front
differently.
of the
I
class, have a plaster over
hated it.
one of your glass lenses. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
don't look like an idiot at all. I don't. I swear that's
yeah.
the only reason that I've got broader shoulders as I have now.
But it wasn't until later on when someone said to me, actually, there's not any actual damage to your eye. This was years later. I was an adult. There's no damage to your actual eye. You've just got a lazy eye. That's it. And then I found out that my grandma had the same lazy eye.
So do I.
So she had it, I had it, you've got it. And the other eye tends to take
It
over.
compensates. It totally compensates.
all the time.
I was saying this because he let me look through both my, because he was like, oh, that's very bad. Oh, that's very, very bad. And I was like, yeah, I know, but let me open the other one. And he gave me both eyes to look through, and I can read it. I can read it all right.
Yeah.
And he was sort of saying, okay, so we do need a bit of correction done because the good eye isn't compensating fantastically, but it is doing its job. And he sort of he checked my other half's eyes, and he was like, oh my goodness. He was like, do you drive? Did you drive here? And I was like, no, I drove. And he was like, oh, thank goodness for that. Because his eyes are shocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an experience. And as I say, I learned something about why I used to hate eye tests. Because they call it a test and it involves all these letters that I'm shit at anyway.
Yeah.
I've always been fairly bad at all of that stuff.
See, I never worried too much about that because I never really had any trouble with letters. So I just hated eye tests because I always had those stupid glasses put on me with all the different lenses put in, and I was always backwards and forwards at the hospital and being told that I've got to practice with my other eye, and it's like, in the end I just nah, just forget it.
Forget it. Keep both eyes open. You'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, but now I've got to have a prism. I've got to have a prism in one of my glasses because things don't line up otherwise.
I see.
When I look in...
Sorry.
I see.
No pun intended.
When I look in this eye, if I hold a finger out in front of me, it's sort of to the right. When I'm looking at the computer now, it's to the right of the picture. If I look in the other eye, it's actually right in the middle. of the picture that I'm looking at in the
Yeah, I
computer.
mean,
So
because your eyes are not in the middle of your face, that there's going to be a little bit distinction between the
yeah,
two.
but there's quite a distinction. So they've said, so of course that blurs things for me
I
because
see.
my two eyes are looking at, if you're trying to look at one object, I have to, basically I look at it in the end with my left eye and try to bring it more into, so that it's clearer.
Alignment, yeah.
Whereas if they put a prism in my glasses, it will pull the two together, because
I see.
he actually showed me, put a prism thing in, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." So yeah, so that's what I'm supposed to get in my new glasses now. So
Cool.
anyway,
Anywho,
apart from that, I think I hit my mic again.
a couple
Um,
of times, but not to worry.
what I'm going to ask you a question now. What has surprised you about adulthood?
That I'm old enough to know better, but still too young to care. What has surprised me? I think being an adult surprised me because it kind of crept up on me. I didn't really see it coming. Um, I think a lot of people who have children, I think they become an adult at that point because they have to be,
Mhm.
because they now have a child. I didn't get that. Um, I didn't want to. I didn't want to, so I didn't. So I think there's still part of me that's very childish in a way because I have never had to be the authority figure to a child. I've done it at work, and I've gone into that role and I do the adult thing, and then I come home and do whatever the bloody hell I want. And so I say when it comes to like surprising, I think how restricted it feels. Like you always wanted to like stay up late. I want to be an adult so I can stay up as long as I want, and you're in bed by 9:30 because you've got to get up the next day. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I want to be an adult so I can buy alcohol, and now it's really expensive, and it's like it's just like it's not at all what anyone says it is when they're a kid, and they're like, when I'm an adult, I'll just eat ice cream all day, and I won't care, and I'll eat dessert before I eat my
That
main course and stuff.
that is something that I think I thought when I was a kid. One thing I want to be able to do was buy myself a whole box of ice cream and eat it all myself.
Yeah,
And
which is a
you
worthy goal for a child, I think.
absolutely. But I think, obviously, I don't do that because one, I would make myself sick. One, I'd be up all night now with indigestion for a start. I've learned that I'm not as sturdy as I was when I was a child, maybe. But the other thing I have learnt is that inside your head doesn't change, and it doesn't matter how old you get. And you can see an older person. I don't consider myself old at all because inside my head, I'm still 35.
Yeah.
I'm no different. I don't think any differently. Don't I hopefully don't think old, because I'm sorry, but
There are people that think old. Yeah, there are. And a lot of the time, I think that is people that stop learning. They stop trying to understand what is currently going on. And I don't
mm,
just mean in society, but I mean like technology and things
yeah,
like that. People that go, oh, I don't do computers or I don't do that. They stop learning. And I'm not saying you have to keep up with everything because, oh my word, is that a challenge?
yeah.
But to be able to go, oh, well, that's something I didn't know was available. I'm going to give that a try, and try and figure it out and work your way around it because it's good to keep learning things.
It's also understanding new sort of
Yeah.
the way socially we change, so that certain words, certain phrases, certain things that you say are not necessarily appropriate,
Mm.
and to learn why,
Yes,
and to
absolutely.
at least have some idea of what they mean.
Mm.
Don't necessarily understand. Don't ever ask me to go through the LGBTQ,
BTQ, yeah.
and then there's something else after that.
IA.
Uh, yeah,
A plus. There's a plus there too. But
there's a
yeah.
plus there too.
Yeah.
I know, I know there's people out there that belong to this group.
I call it, because I'm dyslexic and I struggled to get the letters in the right order. So I called it the eligibility club. Because LGBTQ sounded like eligibility.
Yeah, and
So that's like, well,
and if
you're obviously so eligible, so
yeah,
it's fine.
so if you're eligible to fit that group,
Yeah.
then I'm with you on this. I have no issues about the group. Just don't ask me what all the letters are, and also what they mean. I know what some of them mean. I
That's
don't.
fair.
I don't know what all of them mean.
You can
But
actually look that up. People have done full TikTok videos on
yeah, but
what they all are.
But I am aware of differences, and I am open to differences. So it's little
I think
things
it's one
like
of those things for you and Dad, especially, like for you guys. It is very much a thing of like, well, do your own thing, do what you want to do, and it's not hurting anybody else. So what difference does it make? You know? And I think there's a lot of people who are kind of really getting overly worried about what other people do in their own lives.
yeah,
And it's really, it's none of your business. Like it doesn't matter. And so, you don't really need to know all of that. And if you do know, it still doesn't involve you. So you really don't need to have that much of an
yeah,
opinion on the whole situation, because it's nothing to do with you.
yeah. Let it
Um,
go. Let it
yeah,
go.
like
Let
in
it
that song.
go.
Don't sing it. We have to pay
Don't.
for that. But yeah, it's a thing of like, live your life, however the bloody hell you want to. Do what you want to do. Love who you want to love, and and just be a good person. Don't be a dick. Simple as.
Mm, mm,
Simple as. We've said it before.
yeah,
Don't be a dick.
yeah. I mean, I like my music, and I do like to keep up now. She's going to shoot me because Elowen, my granddaughter. See, again, having children and grandchildren that you are close with, I think that as well helps to
Yeah,
keep
because you have
you.
to keep with the times a little bit, but to
Yeah,
understand what they're going through as well.
yeah. It's like understanding, Elowen and Oliver are getting to a stage when they are coming up to the end of primary school, and you start talking to their mum and dad about phones and internet and
Social media and
social media and stuff, and
yeah.
yeah, and and you and obviously having worked with children and done a lot of safeguarding and stuff like that, I am quite aware of things like that. So yeah, it is that keeping myself up to date with current affairs and what is going on.
Yeah, let's not go too far into current affairs, shall we? Oh my
We're
life.
not
Keep it
going,
positive. Let's keep it
yeah,
positive.
let's keep it positive. Yeah, so it is part of that. I do sometimes go to pe- groups and people that we know that are most of them slightly older than me. And I do worry sometimes when I'm in their company.
You're going to become like them.
No, I know, absolutely not. I would hate to think that I was going to get like that. That have totally dismissed anything
Ah,
to
I see what you
do
mean.
with with anything new that's coming in, and the amount of times that people around me in those groups have said, "What's a VPN?"
Oh my life.
And
Yeah. And the thing is, when you hear about people of the older generations encountering like scammers and
mm,
stuff
I
online on the
know,
phone, and it's like, you are a victim. You are just a victim waiting in the
yeah,
wings.
and I realise that even sometimes the most knowledgeable people can get scammed.
Absolutely. We all get caught out by these things. It's not easy, but part of, you don't help yourselves by
No.
limiting your own knowledge because you don't want to get involved. If you are shopping online, if you are looking, online for things you would like to share your bank details with, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You should absolutely
Yeah.
be keeping a little bit up to date, even if you're just following a knowledgeable person online and listening to somebody who knows what they're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Even that is helpful.
Yeah. If you
But just
haven't got anybody of an age to
yeah,
ask,
yeah,
who might know a little bit more. I mean, I would talk to you and Rich or Steph and Tom and,
that's Shell and Tom. I am Steph.
oh, you are Steph. So that's another thing about getting old, of course, is you completely mix up your children's names.
Yeah, I have been Stephanie for I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
Because I had my brother called Richard, and now there's another Richard, and and now there was Rochelle after that. So I've been Stephanie for a long time.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
I just get an eye patch back,
Yeah.
peg leg. I'll have a hook with this one, and yeah, they'll be fine. Arr.
Arr. Yeah. So that doesn't help either. And you get so annoyed with yourself when you do it as well. But my mum used to do exactly the same thing. But in your head, you're still 35.
Fair.
And you don't change. You look at yourself in the mirror in the morning and it's just like, I'm turning into my mother.
I think all of us are saying that.
Yeah.
When he put those glasses on me in the opticians, I was just like, well, I mean, you might as well just, because they are exactly the same as yours and exactly the same as Shell's.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I am my sister. That's it.
We are going to get a photograph of all three of us together in those photos.
We have to now because I couldn't bloody believe it. And he put these things on my face and he was like, these are perfect for you. I was like, are they really? Are they really? And this is where I started to understand, because my sister had her glasses fitted in the UK with a UK optician, right? Who fitted her glasses. And I'm in France with a French optician, and he's just picked exactly the same bloody glasses in exactly the same shape. And I'm just like, well, I always thought it was bollocks, really. I just thought they picked stuff that, whatever expression you picked, if you went, oh, okay, then they kind of went, yeah, these are great on you, right? And if you kind of went, then they'd pick something else. I just figured that's the way it was going to be. No, apparently not. And when I tried to pick the other ones, and I was like, well, let me just try these. They're too big for your face. They're too big. It's all glasses. You need something different. And so and I looked at Rich, and he looked at me, and he went, you can pick whichever one you want. And I was like, I really don't give a shit. I don't care enough. I don't care enough to bother with what shape the bloody glasses are. As long as I can see through them and I can see what's on the other side of them, I'm like, well, do I care? Really? Like, no, it's fine. I'll just look like my sister. It's fine. We'll get a photo. It'll be great. But I did think it was a bit of a pseudo thing, and it turns out that, no, apparently not. Apparently there is a face shape thing that goes on there somewhere. But, yeah. Hey ho, I'll have my new glasses at the end of next week. I will, but we'll come on. I'll put my new glasses on for us when we record next time.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Dear,
but yeah. So, anything else about adulthood? I mean, the responsibility is enormous.
Yeah.
Especially,
I mean, animals.
Again,
for me, animals.
Yeah.
Having to be responsible for vet bills and for the, health and well-being of this other creature. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
You knew from when I was about 15 that I was never going to have children. I knew this. It was never something that was on my bingo card. Nope.
No.
Nope. Don't want them. Thank you very much. Like children, love children. Just don't want them.
Yeah.
Not for me. More than happy to,
and it's
do
not
all the auntie things.
Yeah. And it's not the sort of thing I've ever pressured you into.
No.
I don't think I get a bit with women who pressure their children into having children when it's not their choice to have children, or it's not their time to have children.
But sometimes it's like, it's just this kind of expectation that, well, you're a woman, you're obviously going to have
Yeah.
children.
And it's also that expectation of, you know, you need to make me you need to make me a grandmother. I
Yeah.
want to be a grandmother.
Yeah.
Well,
That's not on me.
that's not, yeah.
You know,
It either
then
comes or it
adopt
doesn't.
one.
It was either, you know, you're either going to be a grandmother or you're not.
Yeah. I think
Um,
for me, you know, when it was like Elowen and Oliver came along, and there was some people that had sort of said, "Oh, you know, now you can breathe now because your parents are grandparents, and they're not gonna worry about it now from you." And I was just like, I don't think they've ever pressured me to feel like I had to have children, and I've certainly never felt pressured. That could have been because I was oblivious, but
no,
so I'm just like, meh.
no, it would
But
never
no,
have even crossed my mind
you know,
to.
it was totally normal. And I've I you know, I've heard from a lot of people who are child free by choice who are made to feel exceptionally guilty that they are so selfish. And it's like, yeah, but I'm selfish to the point where it affects nobody else. Like, my selfishness doesn't affect anyone else. It doesn't impact anybody else
Well,
but me.
this goes back to our nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because it, you know, is it good or bad that you become or don't become a grandparent? It's not in your power. It's not in your, you haven't got any sway in this.
Yeah.
It's not up to the grandparent or the potential grandparent to make demands on their children. I don't think I've ever made demands. I might have asked you to come and look after the dog occasionally.
Yeah. I mean,
That
I'm
might have
chief
been,
dog sitter,
yeah,
you know.
but but not big life choices like that.
No. And I
That
remember you
is,
saying to me, I remember you saying to me a long time ago, that I couldn't um, change the way that I lived my life for somebody else. And it's like the decisions that you make in your life have to be the decisions that you make for you in your life. And that's kind of stuck with me. Like, is that a decision that I would make purely on my own? If I was making that decision just for me, would I do it? In terms of having children, absolutely not. No, I'm very happy with my life the way that it is. And do I love it when my niece, you know, when I get to see my niece at Christmas and I get to do
yeah,
all the stupid things that we do, you know, then yeah, absolutely. I love every moment of that, you know, and it's wonderful. But I still want to go home and shut the door and do whatever the bloody hell I want to do,
yeah, yeah,
you know, because I don't have that commitment to that other thing. So yeah, and in terms of that, I'm happy with my animals. I've got my dog, I've got my cat,
yeah.
you know, and all the responsibilities that come with that, because he's in the vets every bloody 2 weeks for another 150 whatever it is.
Thank
Okay,
God
that's a month, but yeah.
thank goodness you live in France, is what all
Yes,
I
where
would
it is a
say.
damn sight cheaper than it would have been if I was in the UK. It would have absolutely decimated me if I
Yeah,
was in the UK.
yeah,
Absolutely insane. So yeah, it's a hell of a lot easier having been here. And, you know, we have a really good relationship with our vets.
yeah,
And he loves them.
yeah.
Although he wasn't
I
too keen on the intern the other day, because she came in and he went, "Oh, who are you?" And she gave him a biscuit and he went, "Phew," and spat that out. Even the vet was like,
I
"He's
don't
never done
trust
that
you yet.
before." And I said, "Yeah, he doesn't trust you yet." I'm so sorry on his behalf, but he will warm up to you gradually.
Yeah,
That's
it
it.
does. It takes him a while to come round.
Bless him.
But I suppose as I sort of grew more spiritually, I have to say, um, I've always felt that we all have lessons to learn and we all make choices. I think we make the choice before we even get here of what.
It's a weird one, because, you know, would it have been, I don't yeah, I don't know. I genuinely think that the path that I've taken, I wouldn't have wanted to take a kid on that road with me.
Mm.
When I think about everything that happened, you know, with my accident and then being in an abusive
Mm.
relationship for 6 years, I am so glad that I didn't have children
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah.
So even if I'm in a situation now where it's like, oh well, I probably could deal with it a lot better now because I have a support network and everything, but I still, I'm really glad I didn't.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Whereas for me, it was a big thing for me. I
yeah.
I wa
You wanted the big family with all the
I
kids, and
wanted
yeah,
I wanted children.
yeah.
That was a big thing for me. And I never regretted, and I knew when Dad and I met that there was gonna be 2 more. Um,
And
and
then
it
another one.
and well, then everybody tried to talk me out of it, the hospital and everything, doctors, because of Luke, because of
Yeah.
what he had. And it was like, you do realize he's going to be in a wheelchair. You do realize he's going to be disabled. You do realize he's going to take up so much of your time. And it was like, yeah, yeah, I do realize that. And are you sure you're going to want this for the rest of your life? Yeah. I mean, they were quite forceful. And it was like, no, I love his dad,
Yeah.
and whatever his dad brings, we
Yeah, it's a
deal with.
package. It's a
It
package. You take on the
it's
package,
the
and if you can, it is important that you think through, especially if you are child free, if you are child free by choice,
Yeah,
if you are getting into a relationship with somebody who has children,
yeah,
you really have to think that through, because yes, there is a responsibility there that comes as part and parcel of the person that you're with. Their motivations, their priorities are not necessarily going to be the
yeah,
same. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's all things that need to be thought
yeah.
about
Well, it's funny because when
to
Dad
actively try and convince you out of
yeah,
it. Like,
oh gosh, yeah. And it was like when I fell pregnant with Rochelle, as far as they were concerned, I was 35, and therefore I was an old mother. I mean, now women go on to have babies in their 40s, but I was an older mother. So it was like, oh, you need to be checked. You need to have one of these. I can't even remember what it's called now, but it's a check to see if the child, can't remember what they check for now. But yeah, people out there will know that you have, they are supposed to take a sample of the embryonic fluid,
yes,
which tells them whether or not the child is going to have or be born with, and I can't think of the word. I know exactly what I mean in my head. Um, uh, and I asked, would that put the child at risk? And she said, there's a small possibility. So I said, there's a possibility I could lose this child
as a result of having that
as a
test.
result of having the test. And she said, yes. And I said, then I'm not having the test. And she said, are you sure? And I said, what if it comes back positive?
Yeah,
What
what's
if,
the thought process there? Yeah.
what's the thought process then? And she said, we would advise you to terminate. And I was like, I'm not terminating this baby. This baby's mine. The baby comes with whatever issues it's got, and I'll deal with it. And do you know, that doctor sat there and said to me, I mean, I hope I'm not the only mother that's ever said that. I don't think I can be. But she sat there and said to me, I've never had a mum that's actually said that to me before.
That's concerning.
Well, yeah, I mean, perhaps she was a young doctor and she'd only seen
Maybe.
4 of us. I don't,
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah,
you
maybe.
know, um, but yeah, it was just like, no, no, this is my baby, and you're not going to do anything that might
Jeopardize that.
hurt
Yeah.
hurt the baby, jeopardize the pregnancy, and you're certainly not going to tell me to terminate, because as long as this baby, the only way that might happen is if it happens naturally. Otherwise, no, no. And I said, no, I'll go through the pregnancy,
Yeah.
and
And
We'll
this
see.
is why we are pro-choice, folks,
Yeah.
because we both have different choices.
Yeah, that's it. And
Yeah.
we made those choices ourselves. You know,
You just punch that mic again, it'll be
I
fine.
did. Oh God, I keep doing it. It's just my little punch.
Just a little tappy,
Glitch.
taparoo.
Tabby tap. I can't hear it, but you obviously can.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, the
But
editing process might take it out.
yeah. But anyway, there you go. That's our thoughts and ponderings for this evening. Have you got any more to add?
Yeah, we get deep on this, don't we?
We do quite, yeah.
We start off really trivial and really like blasé, and then we get into something really deep and meaningful. and then it's like, oh well, we'll just leave it there then.
Yeah.
But no, it would be interesting to find out what our listeners think and
know,
what
it
their
would be-
viewpoints are.
Yeah. What
know.
was it? What was it that surprised you when you reached adulthood?
Yeah. How limiting it is, really. I want a big house with a swimming pool. Would I want a big house with a swimming pool? Are you kidding?
No.
Do you know how much tax that is?
Yeah.
Do you know how much it costs to run a swimming pool?
I look at these great big houses on the telly when they're going around and they're like, no, this is too small. We need something bigger. And then they take you to a house. It's got like 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms.
Yeah, you got to clean
like,
those.
Oh my God, I'd have to clean those. And I'm like, no. Do you know what? No.
Yeah, no. It's like, oh yeah, you can have that big fancy car and all this stuff. I don't want that fuel bill.
No.
You know? No.
No, thanks.
Yeah, it's just not all it's cracked up to be.
No.
I think that was the biggest shock for me. Anyway, we've officially talked everyone's ear off for an hour now.
Yeah, we have. Talked each other's ears off as well.
Absolutely.
And it's time to go because Steph has to make bread.
I do. I am making flatbreads.
Very nice. And
to go with our curry.
Oh yeah, it is nearly tea time.
Yeah.
I'm ready for something to eat. And another coffee, a hot coffee this time. I think my coffee's run out now. That's
your
it.
Caffeine things. You've caffeine. I was. Forget it. I don't.
It's getting too late now.
I was kind of thinking of like having your container of coffee filled up, and it's gradually, your caffeine battery. That's what I was after. Your caffeine battery's running out. That's what I meant.
It is, yeah, and I need to top up.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
Then keep your minds open and your lamps lit, folks. And we will see you again next week at the Freakin' Shack.
Yeah. Oh, special coming up next week.
Yeah.
Because it is a Valentine's Day special. It's not quite on Valentine's Day. I think it comes out on the 12th or something of February.
Oh, well, close enough.
But it is a nice little nod to Valentine's Day.
Because that's about as festive as we get for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And it's for everybody, whether you have somebody in your life who is your Valentine or not. Whether you are your own Valentine.
Yeah. Or you've got a cat.
Yeah.
Or they'll stand in. Be fine.
Or a fish. A squid. I don't.
A Valentine squid. There you go.
A spider. A snake. Anyone, anything and anyone you want.
Yeah. Houseplant.
Except if you're stalking somebody. Then that's wrong.
Yes. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Do not.
Please make sure that your Valentine is fully consenting.
Yeah. Perfect. And on that note, we're leaving and going.
Yep. See you again next time.
Bye. Bye.